I'm gonna blow your guys' mind. You ready? Actually, it blew my mind. And I've told some people, and clearly they don't share the same interest as I do, but somebody out there's gonna appreciate it. You ready?
I
Mhm.
think.
In 100 million years, maybe 100 trillion. I can't remember exactly.
That's a
Either way,
big gap.
it is. But the point is, we're never gonna see it, so don't worry about it. But if somehow humanity is still around, which over under, like, come on, man,
Pretty
you know I'm not.
unlikely. Pretty unlikely.
Yeah, but if we are, and we're still chilling here in the Milky Way,
Mhm.
if you were to look up into the sky, you would see nothing but the Milky Way. For as far as you can see, there's nothing. We'd be alone. We wouldn't see anything else in the entire universe.
All right, heat death.
And what's crazy, well, no, that's not the heat death. What's crazy is because of that, unless we keep perfect records that somehow would stand the test of time and knowledge has
Which they will,
managed to
because humans are
stay,
awesome.
yeah, of course. And all that knowledge has managed to stay with humans. If that doesn't happen, we will know so little about the world, the universe, and science because we wouldn't be able to look out and find the answers. Which begs the question right now, are we unable to see some things just like they in the future? They wouldn't even know they're missing something. That's the crazy part.
Ooh,
They
What
just
are they
think,
missing, though? I'm confused, like,
yeah,
what
well, I'll
the
get there.
part
Yeah.
is missing. Okay.
So they would only see the Milky Way. So the crazy thing is, they would even just lack the information and know that they don't know what they don't know, which is trippy because if that's also the case for us right now, and we're just unaware of something that we can't see, maybe that's a fundamental understanding of something else in our universe that could unlock a whole bunch of secrets, but it's gatekept simply because, and this is confusing, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. I believe physical matter in the way that we know it as stars, planets, celestial bodies, all that stuff, essentially
Mhm.
observable matter is, I think, 7% of the entire known universe. The entire known universe consists only 7% of that kind of matter. Then about 27%, I believe, of our observable universe is dark matter, which is the stuff around it that we can observe, but we're not entirely sure. Like, we still don't have an answer, but we know it's there. So that begs, what the heck is the 70% rest of the universe? And actually, for a while, they just assumed that was the 100%, that 30%.
Mhm.
And they tried to account for it, like Einstein with his general theory of relativity. They tried to account, they thought that the universe was expanding at a constant rate or that it was static, that it wasn't variable. But actually, it's exponential. And this is where I still don't really understand it. So there's a thing called dark energy, and that's about 70% of the universe. And actually, the only way I believe we even know dark energy exists is because if you do the math, it's the only thing that makes sense as to how our universe is expanding because objects moving away from each other, galaxies specifically, for instance, are actually moving faster than time, which should be impossible. Nothing should be able to go faster than time. But objects, the galaxies aren't moving faster than time. What's happening and why they know dark energy exists is dark energy is acting upon the rest of the universe and pushing it at an exponential rate and is actually expanding the fabric of space faster than time, which I don't really get, but I guess it's possible. That's the only way something can go faster than time. So we are literally moving away from galaxies at a faster rate than light can reach us. So the whole point is, in 100 million, 100 trillion years or whatever, we will have moved so far away from all neighbors of everything in space that no light will reach us anymore except for everything in the Milky Way. And we know that because if we look towards the Big Bang right now, you can measure how
Bazinga.
long light is getting to us. Bazinga. But if you look the other way, the rate at which the galaxy is moving from the Big Bang are moving away from us, and on the opposite end, how far or close we're getting to those galaxies is variable. We're moving farther away from the Big Bang faster than we are the other way. So the whole point is, given time, I mean, it's inevitable, we will be more or less completely alone and completely oblivious, because I have a hard time imagining everything's going to survive, to the fact that we are not completely alone in the universe. But all the answers to science that we are able to find because we can look into space, gone.
I was close. When I said heat death, I was like, yeah, the eventual, like,
Yeah, the
all
Earth
of
will be
us,
gone in 100 trillion years.
all of us, like slowly drifting apart from each other. But
It's
the
crazy, though.
it's
Definitely
crazy.
interesting what you watch on YouTube.
It's crazy to think that there's stuff that we just can't imagine. Like,
Yeah, like it.
like everyone's like, oh yeah, the color spectrum. Like, there's colors that we don't. There's colors that we've never seen before because it's on a spectrum that we've detected, and it's like, damn, I literally cannot imagine a new color. That's just not like that's
I was
just not
actually
Yeah,
gonna
that would
reading
be
happen.
about that
so
too.
weird. Like that
And
is
that's the
so
thing.
weird.
It wasn't a video, Rob. I was reading a book.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. I
Book,
was reading a book.
but yeah,
The book
it's
also talked about the visible spectrum. That's crazy stuff. Fun fact, I believe currently the only element on the periodic table to not be discovered on Earth is helium. And we only discovered helium by observing the sun. Another fun fact.
Hmm.
But yeah, I was learning about astrophysics, and it's wild stuff. I mean, it was one of those books where I'm reading the same sentence or like paragraph like 7 times.
Yeah,
Like,
let me
okay,
try and get this.
so
Like that's what
yeah,
I'm saying. Like I need you to repeat like what you kind of just said to me.
and even
which
then, a
is
lot
why
of
I
this
need
stuff
people to
is
keep explaining, because like dark energy and dark matter still,
that stuff is
it
still
hurts my brain.
very over my head. And then it's also crazy to think, like, even then, that is all just our understanding of science.
Uh-huh.
There's probably crazy shit that maybe other civilizations, who knows if they are there, or which, I mean,
I
if
think it's
if they're not, man, that is a depressing. That's depressing that we're in one of infinite infinities. We're the only one. That would be super depressing. But like, man, that's just our understanding of science. And honestly, a lot of it is filling the gap, like you said. Like, we're just kind of like, this is what we understand. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. What we
when
understand
it's
so
just
far, we can
yeah,
try
it's
and make a hypothesis about what we know, but that's the best we can do right now with like the resources we have at hand to how far we've gotten so far.
so I think science is based, obviously, because science is cool,
Science is
but
cool.
scientific
Pretty based.
fact only the essential, like the broad definition of scientific fact is essentially cannot currently be disproven.
Yep, exactly.
It's not like we know this. It's just we currently don't have a way to say it's wrong. And I think that's so cool. Because even a scientific truth right now, 100 years, could be wrong.
It's really
But
just
everything we currently know is like, yeah, it works so far.
this is the best we got so far, y'all. Like,
Not to mention in the last week, James Webb discovered the oldest observable universe, which is 290 million years after the Big Bang,
and it probably
which is like,
How do you just discover that? And like you're like, yeah, this is how far. Like, because like I'm guessing it takes like how long it took to travel to like.
yeah, the
I'm guessing.
photons. And then, so this is kind of what I was trying to read in the book too, which was kind of trippy. A lot of it too is understanding the luminosity of galaxies or stars, because depending so I'll have to try to remember this. Eventually, when they were observing the universe, somebody found this star, and I forget the name of the star, but essentially the way they tried to explain it was hard to exactly determine how long light was taking to reach us. Because if you looked at a planet or a star or whatever, the photons, it was hard to know how bright that star was supposed to be. Because depending on how old it is, it'll be brighter or dimmer. It's hard to say. But they managed to find a star, and it has a name, that has a consistent luminosity. And essentially, it's like they found a light bulb, like a halogen light bulb, for instance. And we know now, if you look at a light bulb,
Mhm.
depending on how bright it is like, not only the temperature, but um, like how long the photons are taking, whatever. It's a constant that we're able to measure, so then we can compare that to anything else. They found a star compared to another star that they were able to determine as essentially a constant. So once they determined that, they were then able to use that as like a standard measurement to then figure out all these other things. And so mixed between luminosity, and then you also have all the different spectrums depending on, because like microwaves are slower than gamma rays, for instance, I think, or it might be the other way around. But there's a whole different spectrum, and the James Webb Telescope specifically just takes, I mean, it's like our biggest telescope essentially. It takes a giant picture, and then when you zoom in, you really get in there. Depending on where you look at space and how far it can go in, then they find the things, and then they measure, and then they're like, hold up, this is actually the. So it's crazy. We can currently see in the cosmic timeline of things, uh, we can observe 98% up until the Big Bang. We're still missing the 2%. But as far as we're currently, as we know it, the Big Bang still holds up. It's still the best answer. It's not the definitive answer of how the universe became, but it's
Mhm.
one of those things where it's like, it's our best guess right now. That universe is 98% the way to when the universe started. Will we ever be able to see all the way to the Big Bang? We don't know. But it's kind of crazy to think. Like, we're looking that far into the past. Guarantee that galaxy's probably not there anymore or anything.
Yeah.
But
So with the way
imagine we
light
can.
travels, which with the way how slow light is, that what we're looking at are dead stars.
I'm not even gonna pretend
Mhm.
like I even know what you guys are saying, you know?
D-
I think it's fascinating. I'm like too dumb to actually know math or any of that stuff, but I have a very, very high interest in the subject, and I just like to hear about it, learn about it, and a lot of it like is literally impossible for me to like actually fathom, because the distance we're talking about, the scale of time we're talking about, like we humans literally just cannot understand. The numbers
we
are
ha-
way too big.
we have been given a toolbox. Actually, not even then. We currently the tools we have at our disposal. It's like being in a garage basically, and you can fix a lot of things in the home with the tools that you have scrounged up, and like maybe the stuff that like your parents left you and like stuff. But like if there's just some random fucking like screw and you don't have the right screwdriver for it, you're just gonna sit that screw and be like, well, what the fuck do I do? And that's basically science, Rob. Is we only have so many tools to comprehend and or fix different things around our house. And if we just don't have that tool, it's just gonna be there. It's just gonna be like, yep, don't know what the fuck we do about that. Anyways, basically the world and the universe is terrifying.
But it's sick. And also it's bizarre to think how people discovered some of this stuff. Like Einstein's theory of general relativity, he inserted a variable, just the Greek letter lambda, because pretty much everything made sense, but he couldn't quite account for the universe expansion. And at the time, the running theory was it was just a constant universe because we didn't know otherwise. But he wasn't sure. He did this whole equation, put in this variable, and to this day, once we learned about dark energy, and you insert that in for lambda, his equation works flawlessly. That's mind blowing to me. 100 years ago, bro doesn't know it, and he's just doing math, and he's just like, oh yeah, and this probably this and that, and bro just like just hit it. and people were able to figure this stuff out more. That's really what blows my mind. Is like how I don't, people way smarter than me, that's for sure. But yeah, so little existential dread there. Although some people see that glass half empty, I think it's glass half full. I think it's really cool.
I think it's cool
No.
that there's so much that we don't understand and so much we're never going to understand. And it's like knowledge as we understand it is infinite. And that's kind of sick. We're basically playing like a crazy rogue game that
Yeah.
is, man, who knows? Who knows? I don't. And neither do the people who are way smarter than me.
Yeah.
And that's
And neither do
terrifying.
most people listening to this podcast of the GG Over Easy podcast. Welcome back.
You mean we don't have a
everybody.
bunch of astrophysics listening, bro? Come on.
No, just you actually.
Wow, let's not call myself an astrophysicist. I
It's
read a
good to
book.
have you back, Mr. Fruit. Welcome back.
Thank you.
I
Recovered
know you had
mostly from ligma.
the ligma put you down for commission for a good
My
bit.
balls.
Yeah, it was just lingering, bro. It was just enough to just keep me stuck in bed and I couldn't do anything. And then that lasted, like, it didn't improve for like 6 days. But I'm not. I'm back. I know it's been a couple weeks too because I think we skipped one. Just catching up on my life. Before the ligma, week before I was gone, but then we ended up, I think, not doing the podcast anyway. I had a sudden family passing, so I had to head out of state to go attend to all that, deal with that. That was a lot. Won't go into too much detail because it's still fresh, but it pisses me off. Once I got there, we hadn't known. I'll just say this: so my pa passed away, and it wasn't expected. It was a sudden passing. And I don't have like a big family. This is really like the first close loss I've had to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And from what we're learning, it probably happened because of incompetence and malpractice from first responders.
Really?
And yeah, they're currently looking, they're doing investigations, internal investigations. They're pursuing legal. I mean,
Really?
I don't want to go in the whole story, but hearing
for
it,
sure.
it like putting myself in that situation, I could not imagine. I would have been livid.
Huh. That's so sad, dude. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so it certainly doesn't make it better, especially for like my mom and my Mimi for just like the what ifs now.
Yeah.
So that was frustrating. Yeah, and then I came back and then the ligma hit me. So any T's and P's for just my family and everything. I mean, my Mimi and Pa were married. They just celebrated their 59th wedding anniversary. They'd been together 63, 64 years.
You want me asking how old he was?
77.
77. Okay.
They'd been planning on renewing their vows for their 60th. Crazy. And we're worried about my Mimi, obviously. I mean, like, scientifically, it's been proven heartache is like physical pain. It can kill. And
totally.
when I say they spent, on one hand, she could probably count the days she didn't spend the night with my pa in the 63 years they were together. I mean it.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, it's brutal.
I saw your brother's post, and it was really cool getting to see you guys all like little and in Georgia and stuff. That was really cool. It's really super sad though, man. I'm really sorry because I know it kind of caught us in a weird spot. And definitely thinking about your mom too.
There
It's
is
still really
something to
bad.
be said though about the one Southern hospitality and like small town. So my family over in Georgia lives in a small town. Most people haven't heard of it. Not many people live there, but I mean, he passed a Monday night. By Tuesday, over 70 people had already gone over to her house, dropped off food they baked, or desserts. And it also is a testament to my pa. I mean, he was just the nicest, loveliest man. very talkative too. Knew everybody. When we were at his funeral, just open casket because it was open casket was one night, funeral was the next. For about 4 to 5 hours straight, there was a nonstop line. I think a couple hundred people. I'm not even sure how many showed
Wow.
up for that funeral. I was sitting there thinking, it's like, man, if I pass, like, I wouldn't have this many people showing up, or like, there's something to be said, like the Midwest. Like, if my mom just passed, I don't even know if like one of my neighbors would, come over with food.
For sure.
Um,
No, probably none for me.
Also,
Like,
just goes to show the
leopard might.
like the I think it just goes to show like how close knit those communities are. Like when someone goes, like everyone knows and like everyone stops by. There's like a I don't know. There's something deeply moving about that when it comes to like the human experience and how we like. I don't know. It's just cool. It's just cool to think about that. Like even though someone passed, um, the way that they affect the rest of the people around them, especially in these like tight knit communities, how much people show up and remind people that like yeah, like they're gone, but like because like just us being here is proof that like they're never truly gone because their presence had an effect on everyone here. And I think I was like, uh, I don't even remember what podcast I was talking about, but there was like this very like specific um native uh well Native American specifically thing where the idea that like someone is gone like after death is like they're just gone physically because like you can still see like the mannerisms you picked up from them, like maybe the way they laugh, the lessons that you've learned from them. I don't know, like maybe advice that like they gave you that like you still follow to this day. Like those things still existing means that they are still here. And I always found that to be super profound. And yeah, I mean, especially in those small towns, like that's even stronger because all of those people even show up for that funeral to have a long 4 or 5 hour line. Like that's so many people that like that he is a part of. So basically, what I'm saying is humans are pretty cool sometimes.
Yeah.
it's really like the whole "it takes a village" thing.
Yep.
Um, and also after the funeral, I'd never seen one or been in one. Because also like I don't think like never happens in the Midwest. Maybe like somebody a really large public figure, but never been a part of a procession before. With all the cars, and we had a
Oh, yeah.
giant procession. And so at first, I'd never even heard about him, and I was really confused. I was like, "Why? How does everybody know? Like, why everybody on the other side of the road, as soon as they see us coming, like, why is everybody pulled over?" And then I realized, well, one, processions are a lot more popular in the South,
Oh yeah.
um, but it's I get why people do it, and I think it's very poignant and like just like a little part of that human experience, showing a little bit of empathy or sympathy, regardless of whether you knew this person. You see the line coming, and it's like one last thing they're doing for this person. You just
Yeah.
pull off,
Yeah.
put your hazards on, you just let everything go by. It's like one last, like, all these people doing it, and it was just touching. Like, they might not even know who it is, but it's just this one last nod.
Well, I think it's
Um,
like the human part of us. Like, we're all at some point, like, death is inevitable, like in life. So I think it's like everybody kind of sees that moment and is like, if I was put in that shoes, I would want someone to stop off on the side. So I think it's like just, human decency in the sense that like, you're going to experience that at some point. So you just want to be kind to somebody who's going through something like that.
yeah, so that was, I guess I've started it a bit heavy between, the universe and
No,
then,
bro, we appreciate you speaking about it, man. That's hard. That's definitely not easy. I mean, And like for it to be sudden, man, it's definitely different. Like when my grandfather passed away, I mean, he was 95, I think. Like, like, and it was, we all kind of just knew type of thing. So like, and it's different too, because like, I had the chance to say goodbye and all that kind of stuff. And you don't have to sit there wondering all that kind of stuff. Like, when was the last time I talked to him? So, and when I talked to my grandfather on the FaceTime, I mean, like, it was not there really, but at least I had some sort of like comfort, and that's why I feel so bad for your family with it being so sudden.
Although one of the most touching things is my mom talked about, even though it was sudden and everything, she rested easy knowing for the past couple years, my pa had told her every time when she went to go see him and left or on the phone, he would always end it with, just know if I leave this earth, I leave it loving you. And
That hurt really bad.
yeah, the fact that she has that always,
Yeah.
and I think that's important because it's like, you never know when it's going to be the last time.
Sure. I mean, like when I'm on the phone with Sid, like I always say, like, I love you, whether she's up the stairs or something like that. Like you really never know. Like,
So tell your loved ones you love them today. And then before we get into whatever else we want to talk about, while I was with Ligma, and then the past couple weeks, because I think between me missing some and all that stuff, I've also seen a decent amount of movies in theaters. So I'm going to rapid fire
let's hear it.
Mr. Fruit reviews for current movies in theaters. Although one or two of these might be gone by now. We'll start with the most recent. Just saw 28 Years Later.
Oh, I want to see it so bad.
I didn't. I mean, I almost never look at anything going into it. And
Have you seen the first two?
Well, I had a while ago, but I forgot all of them. So while with Ligma, I rewatched them first.
Nice.
So I'll actually say what I thought of those rewatching them. 28 Days Later, 3 out of 5. 28
Wow.
Months Later, 2 out of 5.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer the first.
Yeah, 28 Days Later. I didn't like it as much as I remembered. It wasn't bad. I do think if you looked at the lens too of when it came out, I'd probably rate it a little bit higher. But just given everything.
A power crowd.
But it's still good. So 3 out of 5. 28 Months Later, 2 out of 5. A little weak. Could have done better. But 28 Years Later is also 3 out of 5. I'm very indifferent. Very mixed.
Not,
I didn't.
Not your favorite. Not your favorite series.
Yeah, I wasn't moved. Like one way or the other, really. Which I'd heard that it's pretty polarizing. I guess people either really liked it or didn't. If you do go see it, I don't know if you've heard about it. There's certainly elephant in the room. Just some meat, some schlong.
Oh, okay.
And if you see it, you'll know. You'll immediately know.
Wait, what?
Oh, you'll know.
No, I know exactly
what
you're talking about.
Oh, believe me.
And it's not because of that. It's not because of. Okay, can I just say it?
Go for it.
Okay, I've been on Twitter, okay? And sometimes when you venture into the depths of the For You page, you get some crazy
is your For You page?
I mean, not the For You page, but like is it the For You page?
Yeah, I think it's just for you. Because either for you or following or whatever.
Sometimes you
these are on your For You pages, not just like the Explore page or something.
Sometimes you venture into the depths of the For You page and you're like, what's the rest of the world up to? And since I've come out, I have definitely followed some more, queer accounts. And sometimes these queer accounts are real thirsty. And I will say, one of the strangest things about, I mean, I guess it's not even like a straight or queer thing, but some people on that For You page are so way too comfortable just posting porn on the For You page. Just dead ass, full ass porn. And I don't please no one judge me because I think I know exactly what you're talking about, and maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I'm just gonna out myself right now, which is like already happened, so it can't be that bad. Is someone just deadass said to Aaron Taylor Johnson? They posted like a picture of him. They were like, "Raw till my throat hurts." That was the caption. I was like, "What?"
Okay.
I was like,
I will
"I have
say
to
it's
see
not
this."
his schlong though. Not his schlong.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, cool. And
Why
then
did I just Google 28 years later penis?
and so then I watched the and so so then I like went to the comments because I was like, I have to read this. I have to see how absolutely just this desolate wasteland that's going to be in here. And same problem. Someone just dead ass posted like one of Aaron Taylor Johnson's scenes where his meat was out, and they were like, it would be raw, haha. And I was like, yeah, I need to get off this fucking For You page. I need to. But Aaron Taylor Johnson, congratulations. That shit was crazy.
I'll tell you, there's just something else. And all I got to say is the shower. You know what I'm saying?
Bro has a hammer.
Shower and maybe a grower, which would be terrifying.
Which would be terrifying.
From what I'm seeing, yeah. But like 28 years later, you think his appendages would all fall off, but you know, who am I to call? Who am I to say? Maybe not
wild.
that thing.
That was the craziest part. So yeah, 28 years later, 3 out of 5. Then I saw the F1 movie, and I give that a strong 4 out of 5.
Wow.
And
see, that is surprising.
If you really like F1, probably 5 out of 5.
Wow. See, and I like F1. Like, that's why when you said the other day that like you really liked it, I was like, oh, like, okay, a normie who like isn't familiar with F1 really liked it.
I know nothing.
Yeah. And if they liked it, like that's a really good sign.
That was really good. Plus, I do think, given the nature of the movie and the impact, like I do think it is elevated by seeing it in the movie theater. I don't know if it has IMAX showings, but that'd probably go pretty crazy. I didn't see it in IMAX. Because I actually went to see it Wednesday. It was like an early showing a day before, and I was like, all right, bet. So yeah, I really enjoyed that one. I saw Materialists, the one with Dakota or is that her name? Dakota? No, that's the 50 Shades of Grey girl. Chris Evans and Pedro Pascal.
The one that hates Ellen DeGeneres and got Ellen DeGeneres owned, basically.
I think so, yeah.
Dakota something.
Is it? It's not Dakota.
Is it Dakota Fanning?
No, it's not Dakota Fanning, but it is Dakota.
Dakota, it's Madam Web.
Yeah, what the fudge?
That's what you pull up?
Dakota.
I'm sorry,
Dakota
dude.
Johnson.
Dakota Johnson. Okay.
Johnson.
There we go. Yeah, it was
Listen,
her.
dude, when I see Dakota Johnson, I just think of Madam Web. All right, I can't, and then not in a good way.
That's her legacy.
See, I think of Ellen because of like the whole Ellen thing.
Okay, the Ellen thing is crazy. That was great. That was like the beginning of the end for Ellen.
For real, it was.
That was a culture shift in the timeline.
Well, the movie Materialist might be a surprise. I go with a 4 out of 5.
Oh,
I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. What I will say, it might have helped.
Why have I never heard of this?
It wasn't huge. And I don't know if they marketed it too much. I didn't see any trailers, which I think helped, because I guess the one thing is if you have seen some of the promotional material, it might be a little misleading, because I think it portrayed the movie as a lighter-hearted romantic kind of comedy. It's not. Pretty depressing, kind of. Like there's definitely a message there, and it's more somber.
You talk about dark matter and shit.
Funny, yeah. I was like, this is crazy. That's where I learned it.
You talk about the infinite void staring back and nothing staring back at you.
Yeah, cosmic romance. So I didn't expect that, and while there are like little funny moments, yeah, I don't know. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit.
Is it a rom-com? Like rom-com type beat?
Not really.
Okay.
There is some romance, but that's what I'm saying. Like rom-com gives it a lighter-hearted feeling than you might expect.
Okay. Because it's rated R, so which I find really interesting.
How to Train Your Dragon, the live action.
Wow. You really went and saw movies.
I freaking love movies. Plus, I got to get my free one every week, bro. 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5.
Yeah. Who asked for that?
I will say that 2 out of 5 if you have seen How to Train Your Dragon. If you haven't, probably 3 out of 5. probably enjoy. But if you've seen it, you have seen it. Like, it's almost just shot for shot. At which point, what are we doing?
That's what I
Like,
mean. Like, who asked for that?
I know some people, like, I think I haven't seen Lilo and Stitch, the live action, but like some of the feedback and backlash was like, they changed these things. Hot take, if they're gonna do a live action remake, I would prefer they do a retelling. I don't just want a complete remake because we have that. So at the very least, try to offer something new.
I like retellings. Maybe not in the same
I-
way Lilo and Stitch do retelling, but I do like retellings. You are correct.
But I would still
I-
give them the edge, even if they didn't do it better, than How to Train Your Dragon, because at least it was something new. It's like,
Wish I could say that. I hated the new Lilo and Stitch.
that's fair. I
Well,
mean,
yeah,
I haven't seen it, but in
I heard a
principle.
spoiler from it that absolutely pissed me off. That I was like, I will not see this movie. Like,
Very very corporate, very, yeah. The Disney Corporation definitely corporatized that storyline.
That's
But yeah,
unfortunate.
a one
I
for
I
one
haven't seen it,
retelling,
but-
I was like, what's the point? But I think
mean-
also the unfortunate reality is it is shocking how many people still will not go to watch like a silly animated feature because it is an animated feature. And I wish I could say that it was different, but unfortunately for so many people, if it's not like live action, live people, that so many adults will not watch a movie. And it is a strange phenomenon that continues to happen, but it's, that's just how it is.
It's fair.
Yeah, I think the only reason they really made this is because they opened up that new park, and I think one of the universes is like How to Train Your Dragon World. So I think it
Yes.
was more so for like the normies of the world that are like, I've never seen How to
Who
Train Your
run the
Dragon.
world?
Wouldn't be
Normies.
I mean,
surprised.
I've only seen the first How to Train Your Dragon. I haven't seen like I think
It's a
there's
goated
4.
trilogy. It's, well, technically there's 4 now. I think there's like an animated cartoon or special or something.
Oh,
But
so
I
it's
believe
3.
it's just a trilogy. I believe so, yeah.
Um,
But it's actually a really good trilogy.
but live action didn't really move you.
No.
Not surprised.
I mean, it was like faithful. They did a good job of sort of capturing the vibe in live action. But like, I've seen the movie, and
Did you
although
watch
they
How to
tried
Train
to
Your Dragon
capture
in
it,
preparation, or like, and that's how you know it
Um,
went bar for bar, or you're just a big How to Train Your Dragon fan and you know that it went bar for bar?
I hadn't just seen it, but Claire and I rewatched the trilogy like a year or 2 ago. And especially rewatching it, it just felt like I was rewatching the anime. I'm like, oh right, oh yep, and then it's gonna yep, and here comes the yep, like so.
Oh,
Although
maybe they.
the main
Nope, yep.
theme still hits, let me tell you. Da da ba 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 ba, when he uses the
Oh,
first
Gerard
fight, that
Butler's
still
in
hits.
it.
Yeah, well, he was the voice actor for his dad, and now he just plays his dad.
Oh.
Yeah. So again, too, it's like why, but whatever. It's like again, you're just trying to mimic. I saw Ballerina, the John Wick sort of spinoff
Oh,
with
I want to fucking watch that.
Anna.
Ana de Armas.
Yes. 4 out of 5. I really
It
enjoyed
was,
it.
how did it? One of the most consistent action franchises ever, and it.
Yeah.
And you know what? Hey, they know what they do right. All right, and they
Now,
they
It
stay
is a
with.
different director than John Wick. However, he did come in, I believe, after to help with some reshoots and stuff because they were having some trouble. Insert some stuff. I don't want to like spoil anything in case somebody wants to go in completely blind, but definitely some fan service. I'm all about it. And yeah, it's just like good action. Like I enjoyed the
Yeah.
action scenes. Like I would enjoy John Wick. So like, is it right up there with John Wick? Not quite, but it's close. And like, they make a Ballerina 2, I'll be there no matter what.
I have a question for you. So all these movies you have seen, do you plan on seeing Jurassic World Rebirth after the last Jurassic Park you have been put through?
I will. I will.
I'm only going because Jonathan Bailey is hot.
I'm
Which is
going just
also
because,
why
you know,
I was gonna go see Ballerina, because Ana de Armas is a generational talent, and how do you make people that good looking like Ana de Armas? Like how do you
that
do
is
that?
kind of unfair.
It's really unfair.
Um, I'll go see it just because it's like one of the classic, like the feeling of like a summer blockbuster. We don't get a lot of those anymore, so I'll still go see it anyway. And it's a new. I don't know. I'm coping. I hope I like it. I mean, I'm not going in thinking like, oh, this is gonna suck. Um, so yeah, I'd like to be proven wrong. I will go see it. And then the last one I may or may not have talked about, and I can't remember any others. Friendship. I don't know if I talked about it in the podcast. That was a little while ago.
Friendship.
With Paul Rudd and Craig Robinson.
I don't know if I've
If you know
even
Craig
heard of
Robinson
this.
is humor, it's like that, but a movie. And I'll be honest, it wasn't huge. Like he has a Netflix show. I wasn't like huge about it. But I enjoyed the movie. There were a couple times it, like almost made me snort or like literally laugh out loud. There's just a good couple like absurd humor that just hits for me sometimes. 3 out of 5. I enjoyed it. It was just a fun watch. So if you know Craig Robinson, then you know what you're getting into. But I will say, if you didn't like it or you don't normally like his stuff, I too was hesitant, but I enjoyed the movie.
Can you see this movie for me? Because I don't want to see it because it looks so terrible. But
Okay. Good start.
but the first movie apparently is really good. But like the second movie, I've seen the trailer for it and it just looks absolutely bonkers. Like it makes no sense. Megan 2.0.
I thought you were
Will
going to
you,
say Megan.
will you go and see that for me? Because I hate seeing bad movies and like the concept of that movie
I
is
don't
so
want it.
weird. If you guys don't know the concept of the movie, Megan the first movie was basically about like this weird animatronic AI doll that turned into like this weird serial killing machine to protect like who's her owner essentially. And it was like a spooky, scary thriller type movie. And then Megan 2.0 comes out and it looks like a John Wick super animatronic girl killer robot thing. Cause it's basically like she's in trouble, like we need to help. And it's like Megan's like, release me and I'll be like the superhero you need. And so now she's like a badass cop thing. I don't know. It looks so ridiculous. I need you to see that for me and to tell me how terrible it is.
Okay, I haven't seen the first
you
one,
see the
so
first
I'll
one?
have to see. Yeah, I'll have to see the
See, the
first one,
first
I
one's kind of
guess.
scary though. Like
It's
Is
not
it?
scary,
and like see,
but
they're still
it's
claiming
a
Megan
thriller.
2.0 is horror sci-fi. Like that is not horror. Like if you have seen the trailer, that is not. I don't know what they're trying to
Hey,
put out.
as
there.
we have learned, trailers can be misleading. All right, so, but I also just love like how corny. You know, it's been too long since we didn't get like some corny like a corny like horror sequel, and so like I'm not against it.
Megan 2.0
Mhm.
swaps the original horror story software for an action-leaning programming that does prove to be an upgrade, although the quippy AI remains an amusing mascot of Slay.
Oh,
And there's
hell
also like
yeah.
I also have like this weird thing where the look of the doll is like too human, but like not human enough. So like it's distracting. Like,
And that's
I don't know.
exactly what they want.
I don't know if what I'm looking at. Like I'm confused. Like is this really like an animatronic person or like how they did? Please see that for me because I'm just so genuinely curious if it's the worst movie ever.
Yeah. For you, I guess I can.
I was hoping you saw Elo or whatever that is, that Disney Pixar
Elo.
movie that is apparently like bombing. Like that is
Claire
apparently
does
like,
want to see it, so we will. But we're waiting until she's in the mood to go. So we will see that. Yeah, I've heard mixed stuff on that. Again, as
Did you
always,
ever see
I'll reserve my
Thunderbolts?
judgment. I did.
I don't know if you ever talked about it.
I think I did, but I thought it was a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
I think it was like just a good movie. Good isolated movie. Sort of felt like a return to form. Like they can tell these more nuanced stories, in more interesting ways, and not everything has to be this big deal. Like I'll always die in the hill. They just tried to go too big with Eternals.
Way too big, way too
And
fast.
yeah, and it got me excited for Fantastic Four. Hoping that's
Bro,
not doo-doo bus.
forget Fantastic Four, Superman. Like
I am
I'm so
excited for Superman.
excited. I've
That
loved
looks sick.
everything I've seen from Superman so
I
far.
agree. Everything I've seen looks sick. Are you
It will be
have you
no matter
seen
what.
clips, Mr. Fruit, or are you trying to stay away from that?
I saw the
With
very
it.
first trailer, like, a couple months ago, and that's it.
That's sick. Because
It
like
was
the
enough
stuff
where
they've
it's
been
like,
putting out, awesome.
yes,
Like
like,
truly
I know I'm
great.
gonna go see it, and that's just it. I wanna try to stay fresh for everything else. I'm really hoping it delivers. Because also it's not like
I need to buy tickets for it.
I'm not like a
Tickets are
Marvel or DC, in the same where it's like, oh, I'm the PlayStation, so I hope Xbox dies. The way I look at it is, we could get two cool things.
yeah.
Like wouldn't it just be better for everybody if we got cool stuff? So
But if we're being
yeah,
real, DC like Trump's Marvel like all day, every day.
it is like the
Unfortunately,
list of their heroes, especially if you were to ask like
oh
somebody
yeah, no.
15 years ago or whatever.
I mean,
I-
yeah,
But
personally, before the MCU, like if you liked Marvel, you were a nerd. Like
I,
that's just how it was.
I think
Like,
I think DC has like just easily the best repertoire and best stories for sure. But man, they fumbled the cinematic universe
yeah.
pretty hard. And hopefully this is now like with this reset, hopefully we see some more, real competition. Plus I've been loving every single fucking preview of this Superman I've been
Yeah.
watching. I'm so excited.
Yeah,
and it feels like which some people I have seen some people complaining, but like that they're like, this is too corny, but like it feels like
That's
like
Superman,
a
dude.
comic book movie.
I'm so tired
which
of
I'm
this
here for.
like gray filter.
Dark Knight.
I'm so tired. Well, not Dark Knight.
Well, no, I'm just saying like they want that feeling of
that's
like
the
this.
pendulum. That's the pendulum swinging really far the other way, which I also like that. But like it gets to the point where like it's not even like a comic book movie anymore. Like it's not like it's just a superhero movie. And I feel like there's a big difference between like a superhero movie that's a comic movie and like just what Marvel has been doing lately, which is just a corporatized superhero flick that is just like so far from the source material sometimes that it's not even the same thing, which can be fine. Like it could be good, but I don't know. Like it's just very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very, I don't know. It's very unseasoned. It's like it lacks a lot. A lot of the stuff lacks a lot of personality, and doing silly little quips here and there as your only source of like little spice is not gonna cut it anymore. And I just want like that cheesy comic book shit that like makes you smile. And like I don't know, it's okay to have a superhero movie that is like, hey, it's not serious, but we do want to like make you feel like you come out the superhero movie being like, man, Superman's really cool. And
Well,
that's all I want. That's all I want. I just want to come out of the movie being like, man, that superhero is really cool. The world seems a little brighter now.
yeah, for the people complaining too about like, it looks too whatever. If I want my dark gritty Superman, I have my Man of Steels
You've had
that I
15
enjoyed,
years of that shit, all right?
so I'll just go watch those.
Yeah.
I got my Henry Cavill.
They're
I enjoyed
still
those.
there.
But yeah, I'm always down for a new take.
I'm down for hope. I want to watch some. And that's what Spider-Man. That's what Superman has always represented to me is hope. And when I watch those, Superman previews, I'm like, yeah, I can feel it. I can feel that hope.
Don't make me. Don't do it.
Yeah,
to
I
me.
mean, the Fantastic Four also does look really sick. Everything that's come out of that too. I feel the exact same way. Like looks super dope. Like I finally feel
It's
like
got
we're finally-
seasoning, flavor. It's not like, oh, this is the corporate film machine. No, this is, hell yeah. This is that corny, risky shit that in the comic that made me fall in love with the concept of comic books, baby.
So yeah, the last couple that I watched while I was with Ligma.
Alls.
I know I've watched it before, but I rewatched it. Goodfellas, still 5 out of 5. Incredible movie. Cinematic masterpiece. Watched Pride and Prejudice for the first time. It's Claire's favorite movie. Never actually seen it. 4 out of 5. I enjoyed it. Yeah. If you haven't seen it, I think it's good. Keira Knightley, and it was weird because the guy that plays, is it Darby?
Darcy.
Darcy, yeah. BC. I was close on the alphabet. The guy who plays him, I've only ever seen him in the fudge is that HBO show? Uh,
Secession?
yeah, Succession. And if you know his role there, it's really hard to think of him as like this love interest. Um, but what's it got going? Believed it. I enjoyed it.
I
Somebody
only know that
cloned
guy from Deadpool.
Tyrone. Oh,
Oh,
yeah, he is in it.
Yeah.
okay, sorry,
Um,
go on.
somebody cloned Tyrone. Netflix movie.
They
I don't know how I
cloned
haven't seen it yet.
Tyrone. I love that movie.
4 out of 5. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
It is a fun
Um,
movie. It's just a great
Also, just some
blaxploitation flick.
funny stuff.
So fucking
Yeah.
funny.
So many moments I laughed.
Just the stupidest people getting away with the stupidest things, and it's just like it just compounds into like the silliest shit in the best way possible. I love it.
Well, speaking of,
Yeah.
have you guys seen the movie Sorry to Bother You? It's kind of like maybe in the same vein as that, but like that movie is so funny, but like one of the
I haven't
most
seen that one.
insane endings ever. Like one of the most absurd things I've ever seen.
All right, well, I have to look
You'll
at
have
it
to
then.
watch it.
Yeah, I hadn't even heard of it. And I think there were a couple more. I didn't write them down, so I can't remember. The last one I can remember, I watched Uprising, which is, I want to say, I think it was South Korea. That or Japan. It's obviously very different. But I want to say it was South Korea because I think in the movie Japan's invading. But it is like feudal
South
samurai
Korea,
era.
yeah, it is Korea.
Okay, yeah. So feudal samurai era. 4 out of 5 for me. It was just, I mean, come on, man.
I mean, Samurai's 4. That's a automatic like.
Yeah,
had me a
story's pretty
samurai.
interesting. Good cinematography. Enjoyed the action. I mean, for me, it was just like, yeah, I'm just eating this up. And those are all the ones that I can remember. So I had to catch up. But yeah, your boys obviously been watching movies. And I guess, yeah, my next one will probably be Elio. I guess I got to get to watching Megan.
Well, I heard that Demon Hunters, K-pop Demon Hunters. I heard that's pretty good. I heard that's a fun movie on Netflix.
Claire and I watched the first 5 minutes, maybe 10. She turned it off. She's the one that's like, oh, I've heard. And she's like, it wasn't
Oh,
quite.
she wasn't about it anymore.
No, I mean, it definitely just feels more, at least at the beginning, like
Gen Z.
Yeah, like it's a kid movie kind of vibe. Where again, I've said like kid movies can be kid movies, but still
The adults
know.
can pull something from it, type of thing.
Right.
Like,
But the first 5 to 10 minutes, I mean, it could be different. Who knows? Maybe I'll watch more of it on my own. But it just felt like this is just like a kid movie. But yeah. So that's it for my yapping.
hell yeah, dude. Well, it's good to have you back, and it's
We
good to
love
have you
hearing you
yapping back.
yap.
That was only like an hour again. Classic.
Yeah. Something happened to me this weekend. My computer of 10 years finally died randomly while I was watching Impractical Jokers and playing League.
Bro's been going through it.
Yeah, it's been what happened is we're just playing games and it blue screens, right? Your computer blue screens every now and then, right? And it's just like, oh, like, okay, I must have like ran into something. So like, let's just wait for it to restart. Like this happens all the time. Wait a second. What? It didn't launch and it blue screened again. Okay, like let me turn it off and then like turn it back on. Like let me hard reset this thing.
Right.
Still blue screening and still yeah, dude. And like this was like at like 1 a.m. So I was like, oh my God, like I want to stream Doom tomorrow. So now I have to figure out another setup. So basically I have a 2 PC setup. So like that was my streaming PC. So now I had to set up my gaming rig to also be able to stream and like figure all that out. Oof, man. And then the next day I go to stream Dune. Dune doesn't get past compiling shaders now. It freezes at compiling shaders and crashes every time. So now I'm like, okay, I was like, let me uninstall Dune. And then I uninstall Dune and then it gets stuck at 99%. And then it says content not available on servers or something like that. So I go on Reddit and look it up and it's just like people going, yeah, I went into my file explorer, went into the apps data. And it's just like, oh my God. Oh my God. And then I forgot to say this too. The night my computer broke, Cindy comes downstairs and proceeds to tell me that one of our cats peed our bed. Like,
no.
like pissed through all 3 of our like blankets. We had like a comforter, blanket, sheet kind of thing through all 3. Thankfully, it did not get on the mattress too much, but we had to throw away like 3 blankets because I don't know if you guys know about cat piss. It is just like one of the hardest things to get rid of. And if like your cat smells like those like enzymes or whatever, that makes them want to like pee
Yep.
there. So it's just this never ending struggle of cat peeing. And the worst part is we don't know who did it. We don't know who done did it. Like we
Who's
have
the
our
culprit?
theories. Yeah, exactly. Like they walked away scot free. And that was just, it was literally like the Lord was testing me for like 24 hours. But
I was gonna
thankfully I was
say
with
that
my
you're going
tech.
through it.
I was literally with my tech Jojo from like 10 a.m. to like 7 p.m. So like we literally went through my computer, checked if it was the RAM, checked if it was CPU, checked if it was this, checked if it was that, unplugged things like, okay, if you unplug this, it means your RAM doesn't work. Well, it didn't work, so RAM is good. If it's this and you unplug this, it's your graphics card that works. Turns out my solid state drive from Samsung, which is again probably a 10-year-old solid state drive, just died. It just
Oh,
couldn't take it
lovely.
anymore. Yeah, it just was like, you know what?
That's
I'm
unfortunate
done.
too, because SSDs are usually don't die like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was like 10 years old and I've kept this computer on, so like I understand. But thankfully it wasn't that hard of a fix. I guess like M.2s I installed a new M.2 and basically just got a new Windows operating system on there. I wasn't able to save all my files. But again, this is just my streaming PC. So at the end of the day, it's really only used for like Discord and OBS. And my OBS scenes aren't anything crazy. I mean, it's just a browser source and a couple other scenes, which will only take me about like an hour to fix. So um for a little bit there, it was awful, but shout out to my tech Jojo for helping me out and realizing it was just like basically like a $60 fix, which was really nice.
Huh, yeah.
So the streaming PC is back up and working?
Yeah, I just have to do the audio stuff where like and like I don't know how to do all that stuff. So my audio guy has to go into my computer for like the 9th time. I literally messaged him and I was like, "Hey dude, just booked you. Like, sorry. Like you're gonna have to do it again for like the millionth time." Uh but yeah, everything is hopefully fine with it. It actually goes so much faster now. I didn't know M.2s were the wave that the kids are using today.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, thankfully everything is a-okay. And apparently
I'm glad to hear that.
also I got I don't know if you listened to the podcast last week, Mr. Fruit. I got a lot of reassurance from parents that colored poop from children is a very normal thing apparently.
Oh.
Long story
Why
short,
is that?
Mr. Fruit, I took my nephew to the
Oh
bathroom
man.
and he took a
Please
monster
watch
dump.
the story. Please watch
He took a
last
monster
week's.
dump. And I'm not joking you, Mr. Fruit. You know, like in high school when you go to the bathroom and somebody just left a big poop in there for just somebody to see for no reason?
Oh,
That was my nephew that was doing
what
that.
a great
My
episode.
And then like not only was it sorry, I had to gag. It was also like blue, yellow, green, red. It was literally like every color in the rainbow, that poop. It was crazy. And apparently I talked to my friend Noah last night, Noah Mills, and apparently he has like a 3-year-old. Apparently that's very common. Is
Hmm. Well, that is good to know, I
multicolored
guess.
poop. Yeah.
Why is that? Just because they're
Poop
I
solidarity.
don't know.
Poop solidarity,
don't-
brother.
I don't know. But yeah, that was my week. And then a little bit of Dune, you know, just still on the grind on Dune.
we're doing it.
Doing your mom.
Do you like Expedition 33 or Dune more, Mr. Fruit? People were claiming that I am crazy for calling Dune my game of the year so far without having played Expedition 33.
Yeah, you haven't played it, so I'll let it pass. It's not even close.
Really?
Expedition 33. I mean, I'd put Expedition
Damn.
33. I mean, just top of the dome, roughly top 5 games of all time for me.
Wow.
I mean, that game, like, I don't know what could come out that would. The only thing is maybe my bias for Ghost of Yotai. But even then, I mean,
For
the
Gyotai to beat
innovation,
Expedition 33 would be pretty tough.
what you say it's something. And if I do, I might even know it's just a little biased because, like, ooh, samurai. But I mean, the story, incredible. The storytelling, the music. Again, I've never cared about music as much as I did. It's my favorite soundtrack. And then the innovation on turn-based with the real-time combat. I mean, just yeah, it's cinema. But Dune is a lot of fun. Unfortunately,
You're
because of
stupid for thinking it's your game of the year.
Yeah,
I mean, I will follow you. But like, will it win game of the no?
no, not at all.
And
It should
yeah,
win
because of
something
everything,
though.
it might. Because it depends on categories. And again, it's only half the year, so who knows? But the yeah, because of everything that's gone on, haven't been able to play, and things kept coming up as much as I wanted to. So trying to get back, but then I'd missed so much though that now I'm back, and it's like, okay, well, I can't grind as much because now I have to catch up on everything else.
Yeah.
And also where the guild's at right now, I mean, it's just grind.
Yeah. It is for real though. Like,
So I can't really like get much content right now because it's just we're grinding for the carrier and then the spice refiner or carrier. I don't know what it's. I keep forgetting what it's called.
Ornithopter carrier.
I know the carrier, but I can't remember the spice.
Oh, spice farmer, spice land farmer,
Yeah,
something like that.
Something like that. Once we have that should be mob around in that, and that'll be interesting. But yeah, I would definitely give it to Expedition 33.
Okay. I was just curious. As somebody who has played both and experienced both. Is there anything okay, here's something we can talk about and get your guys' opinion. What did you guys think of the whole mango fiasco this weekend? If you guys don't know, Ludwig hosted we used to call it a drunk Mario Kart, but he calls it Beerio Kart, I think. And basically, I don't know if they followed the same rules, but basically, when we played it in college, is you start with 3 beers and you have to finish those 3 beers. Oh, we called it "Don't drink and drive," instead of like Beerio Kart. And basically, the rules of the game is you start the race with 3 beers, and you can't move your car while you're drinking. So, and you have to finish all 3 beers before you finish the race, essentially. So you can like race like the whole way, but then you have to stop at the finish line and finish all 3 of your beers. I don't know if they did the same rules, but Mango, who is a very popular Smash Bros player, probably one of the most popular, got a little way too drunk and basically started air humping and sexually harassing a lot of people that were there. I know a lot of people that are like him when they get drunk and get very like touchy, handsy, like put your arm around people. I can't stand those type of people, man. And it was really hard to watch. And just really weird, just very like weird energy. I felt bad for like obviously the women that were harassed, but like Ludwig as well, that was like trying to like he could obviously tell something was like and people were uncomfortable, but he has to like try and keep the it was just hard to watch in general.
Now, I have a different take.
Okay.
This is also Ludwig's fault.
I mean, absolutely.
I don't feel bad for Ludwig because Mango, for me, yeah, super bullshit that this even happened. For me, my problem is that Mango, I don't even watch Smash that much. I don't even watch Melee that much anymore. I'm not deep in the Melee community. Even I am aware of how notorious Mango is for having an alcohol problem.
Yeah.
And so when I saw him there, when I like was watching like the highlights, I was like, okay, Mango drink. Maybe he's like, maybe he's like found a better relationship with alcohol. Nope. And then I saw the clip and I was like, yep, that sounds about right. And for me, if you know your friend has an alcohol problem and you're inviting them to an event that is primarily alcohol fueled, super irresponsible, super enabling, and puts other people at risk for having to deal with that person's alcohol problem. So I think it was super irresponsible to even have Mango there. And especially if people already know that this is how Mango is, putting him around many other women is like, I had no idea this was going to happen. It's like, all right, man, be so for real right now. So yeah, I think it is definitely, and I think someone there even said, like, is this not enabling Mango?
Yeah, I mean, I saw that clip. I think it was like Ray talking to like Ludwig about it, basically being like, is he an alcoholic?" Like,
Yeah. So
and like
I'm,
he's made it like his sole brand, basically. Though is like he's made like
yeah,
alcohol his like whole brand. Like, you know what I mean?
which is like, hey man, you're not 20 anymore. You're one of the
Huh?
greatest melee players of all time. You made it past high school. You didn't peak in high school. You don't have to make your whole brand about alcohol, big guy.
Yeah, 33, bro. Like that's got to be the time where you like take a step back and like really
Wait,
evaluate.
Mango's
Like,
33?
yeah,
That's a hard 33, brother.
And he has like
yeah,
a isn't his kid like 12 or something?
something like that.
He's got a pretty old kid.
It's a bad look, man. And it sucks too because like I really enjoyed like, you know, the content that like Mango's put out with like Clint Stevens and, you know, Ludwig and all that kind of stuff. Like I think he's a fun guy, but like,
He's a, he's
man, you
he's
got
he's a dope dude,
yeah, you
but he has a
gotta
serious
really
alcohol problem. And one, yeah, he if he knows he's having an alcohol problem, he could easily go to Beer Car and be like, hey, can I just like not drink alcohol? Like, can I just, which I'm sure people, no one would have had a problem with it. There was like, hey, I don't really drink alcohol. Can I just have like an alternative? Like, can I just drink like fucking do Dr. Pepper shots or some shit? Or, you know what I mean? So, but,
yeah.
but yeah, I don't
He
know.
just
Me
got
when I
banned
play
from an
Beer Cart.
event,
Very responsible.
Supernova.
Yeah.
So he's not competing at Supernova. Um I think some of his Twitch accounts got banned. So
I mean, I do hope. Yeah, the fallout of it all. I mean, I'm with both. Like, kind of agree with both of you, especially seeing all the clips too from the thing where Ludwig is more or less just enabling and like joking about it. And the thing is like this. It's not like people didn't know
Yeah.
that Mango can get a little crazy and goes a little hard. Um, and I think the one thing too is like the the first time or maybe the second time it happened during the stream, somebody production Ludwig at that point should be like, all right, dude, like just
get the fuck out of
let's
here.
get start drinking some water, get in this Uber, like just
Because
let's
before
get you out of
then,
here.
he was doing some humping and gyrating and, you know, a little borderline stuff to other guys,
He
which
doesn't discriminate. You gotta love that, you know?
which is, but like when guys see it happening to other guys, no one's like, oh, that was kind of weird. And you know, that's just the culture we're in. But if they had already saw it happening to other guys, they should have been like, okay, wow, if he does that to a girl who is going to take far more offense to that because they have to deal with that shit constantly all the time already, maybe we should get this guy out of here.
Yeah.
So there is a clip that I thought was pretty bad where it's like they uh and like there's this weird line you got to walk when you're doing an event that's based around alcohol. You know what I mean? Because like you don't want to, because like obviously like drinking alcohol is a very social thing and a very fun thing, but it can also be like a very like bad thing to like try and promote and all that kind of stuff. And there was a thing they were doing where they would take a breathalyzer and basically see who was the most drunk.
Jesus
And
Christ.
Mango blew a .32
Oh my God.
alcohol blood alcohol concentration. So to put that in comparison, the legal driving limit BAC is .08. And Mango is
They not die.
nearly 4 times that. Uh Basically, I'm reading here. I mean, you're running the risk of passing out, basically having like alcohol poisoning. It's
permanent
crazy.
damage potentially.
Yeah. So I hope he checks himself in and gets some help because like that's bad. Because I know like from personal experiences and some people in my family, you know, alcoholism is a true disease,
Yeah,
and
seriously.
it can ruin somebody's life truly, and not just their life, but like if you
People
decide
around
to
them.
drive drunk and you kill somebody, like you can affect so many people with alcohol. So it sucks to
And even if
see
you
what
don't kill
happens, but
someone, you could do what Mango did where you know, seriously like cross someone's boundaries.
yeah, and you know, maybe this wake up call was needed, and I hope this is, you know, what he kind of needed to maybe change his life for the better.
Well, the only thing that I think people need to empathize with Mango right now is uh hopefully, because it at least publicly it looks like everybody's just like dropping him. You have to look at it from his case now too. How is he gonna get better from this if suddenly all of his friends stopped talking to him? Like he not only got banned from any like Ludwig events and stuff, he got like publicly disowned by most of his friends, whatever. His organization he's been with for like 15 years, whatever, dropped him. He's been
He's a
banned from all the
he
stuff
was
that
the
he plays
longest
games.
C9 member on C9's roster.
Yep.
I
He
think he
got
might be the longest one, like except for like Faker on T1, basically. He might
I
even be
think
longer
maybe
than
longer.
Faker.
Yeah,
This
I'm
is
pretty sure longer.
this is also why I'm a little upset that Ludwig is just getting away scot free from all this too, because Ludwig did enable Mango. He knows Mango has problems, and Mango's the only one dealing with like the repercussions of this, which is a little annoying for me. But I mean, but I think for me, I want Mango to get help and deal with his alcohol problem because a lot of his brand is alcohol, but he's also gone on record saying like, yeah, I have a serious problem with alcohol. And to see it happen again and again and again, I understand why people are dropping him, but I definitely hope like his immediate friend group is, I mean, it's probably just like a public thing that like you got to do right now to like not make it a big deal for sure. But I hope he has like a support group that is like, hey, I want to see you get better. I want to see you improve. I want to see, because like just dropping someone and stuff is not like gonna fix the issue at hand. Because there's something, you know, it obviously goes beyond Mango. Like it, you know, the whole event was kind of like, well, what else was gonna happen here, guys?
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely sucks. I hope he gets help, and obviously he's said, yeah, like I made a mistake, and I do need to reevaluate my relationship with alcohol. But I think it's also like not just a matter of, I think for a lot of his sponsors and his friends, this was also kind of like a last straw thing because like on the other side of it, watching someone like cause so many issues with their alcoholism, at some point, like you can only be there for them so much before it's like,
Yeah.
are you gonna like try and fix this, or is this just gonna be like a forever thing where I'm constantly trying to help you but you're not trying to help yourself type deal, you know? So it's a tough situation to be in, but I want him to win for sure. Um,
Well,
but I hope he has a support group to help him win and not just like, I really hope he's not just alone in fighting it.
yeah, because again, he also is starting to get banned from uh, melee tournaments in itself, which has been his career for 13, 14 years, whatever. He's been playing it for 20, whatever. And then, um, what was the other thing? Oh, and the Twitch banned him, which where he live streamed. So he just
Yeah.
lost straight up one night, like everything, and now it's like stop drinking. Like with the guy that, so like he's going to need help, and I do hope people are there to, because that's a lot to go through too. Even though he did mess up, um, he will need some people, and hopefully there are. Like I don't know, but uh, on that end, I do hope he gets help because it's really hard to beat something like that by yourself, and then compound it with all that. Like your whole world essentially just like collapsing in one night. I mean that's tough.
Yeah.
So
it's just very public and it
It's a
makes it
mess.
harder. But I will say there's a lot of people who have done far, 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 far worse than Mango and have gotten away with far less consequences. So would I say like the punishment is fair right now? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Would I say that yeah, this is something that he needs to work on for sure, 100%. And is he still at fault? Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people kind of forget, like I said, like that alcoholism is like truly like a disease. Like it is truly a, a really hard thing to break, especially like for Mango's instance. Bro's probably had a beer every day for probably the last who knows how long.
And because
Essentially, maybe
so cool, he's like, "Oh, it's Mango, it's Mango." There's
yeah,
probably so few people who have told him, "Hey, man, maybe put that down."
yeah. It definitely a crazy situation. Anything else we want to touch on before we touch on some Q&A? All right.
I think so.
C-Bon, or Sean Bon says, "Hi, ho,
Cinnabon.
everyone. Long time listener, first time Patreon. I had a question for Fruit. Back in 2021, you mentioned you were watching ReZero and had really enjoyed it. ReZero is my favorite show ever, and I was wondering if you watched season 3. It just wrapped up this year, and they already announced season 4 is coming in 2026. Season 3 was gas."
No, I need to catch back up. I mean, I was enjoying it, but then there's like a huge gap. So I just fell off the wagon as I do with most things with a huge gap. So I would like to get back to it because yeah, I have heard good things. I'll probably at this point probably just wait until what season 4, and then I have 2 more to binge. But no, I did really like it. So
Next question here is from Johnny Appleseed. Um, he asks, "I do the Rob strategy of letting my facial hair go nuts for weeks at a time before bothering to trim it." What? And I learned that for the first time in my life, I'm now able to grow a full beard. I never thought it would happen, but do you have any advice how to maintain and upkeep a beard?
Oh, holy shit! Beard oil, 100%. Beard oil makes your beard so much easier to maintain. It makes it, and beard oil is super nice. Like you just get a little oil, rub it in your beard, brush your beard out, and not only does it make your beard feel so much better, it also makes your beard look so much better. And there's also something I found that has really like changed the game for me. Obviously, like a trimmer, get like a Manscaped easy sponsor. Trimmer. It can like help you like keep like the size and shape of your beard more efficiently because not everyone wants like a Viking beard. I want to keep it like to a certain degree. And then
I
there
could grow
is
one, I would, but
you are getting there, Mr. Fruits. Look at you.
no. But see, like I try and grow. Like this is kind of it. It
That's the
doesn't.
Also, what
limit.
do they mean by like letting raw? Like, do I just let my shit grow out like
Rod's like,
gross or something? Like, what is that about? Like,
now
what?
hold up. What do you mean
Now
by
hold
that?
up, hold up. Now hold
Now, if
on
I
a
don't
goddamn
shave for
minute.
like a week, yeah, sure, it looks a little weird, but like it's not like I go 3-4 weeks. Oh, look at this shit. Like, whatever.
There was what's it called? A shaver. Uh, it's like for stubble basically, like a beard shaver. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. Yeah, a foil shaver. Foil shaver has changed the game for me because like all my like spare stubble that like I can't like just get rid of with a trimmer. The shaver just gets it at like and gets it nice and nice and trimmed. If you've ever been to like a barber, that thing that's like really loud, but like they like press on your skin and it's nice and smooth, that is a foil shaver. And it is exactly for like the small stubble bits that like, you know, you can't whenever you shave a beard, there's going to be like little bits of stubble that you just can't get. But the foil shavers, they get it, and they make your beard look nice and clean and presentable and sick. So, anyways, basically what I'm saying is upkeeping a beard is a lot harder than it sounds. So, but when you do it, beards look nice.
We'll
On
do
that.
last question here. From Space says, more of a Mr. Fruit question, but everyone can feel free. But have you ever played or heard of a game called Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning? It's a high fantasy RPG, kind of in the vein of Skyrim, but with no first person. The game I played when I was younger, but no one even knows what it is. I don't know what it is.
I do know what it is, but no, I've never played it. I think I've heard it kind of plays like a WoW, but like kind of solo or like offline. Yeah, I've never played it. I haven't heard a lot. I've heard few things about it. Will I ever play it? I don't know. I got plenty of stuff to play, and I don't know if that's high on the list, so I'm not sure. Never say never, but yeah, I haven't played it.
That'll do it for the GG Over Easy podcast. Thanks for everybody for listening and hanging out. Thank you, Mr. Fruit, for sharing what's going on with your family. I know it's tough to do. Everybody in the comment section, send your well wishes to Mr. Fruit and their family and his family. Thank you guys all for listening and hanging out today. We will be back next week for some more talking and yapping.
Yap
See ya.
mode.
See.